Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Runway for Entrepreneurs. How's everyone doing tonight? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to you all. Hello, hello. Hi, thank you for joining. Let me see who we have on here. I'll give it a second if you can. Go ahead on and invite. Hey, Shantae, how are you, love? How you doing this evening? How was your day? Thank you for joining. I am excited. It is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. We had beautiful weather today. We had sunshine. We were able to go out and get some vitamin D, right? So I hope you guys took the advantage of the warm weather. Okay. So I'm not sure what is supposed to be the rest of the week, but today was great. Okay. So hey you okay. Oh, okay. Glad to hear. So, you guys, we have this is our second go around with the runway for entrepreneurs. So I'm excited about that. I am super excited. I am excited for all the entrepreneurs that has given me a yes and volunteering to show up and show out and talk about their businesses, talk about their journey of being in business, right? The ups, the downs, how they got started, for those that, were in business and maybe the business folded and, they started another business. And so that's what this platform is all about, right? So, you guys come on and support not only the runway for entrepreneurs, but support our special guests, that are in business. It's all about, that's what the platform is for, to showcase folks that are in business, those that are willing to show up and talk about their business. And also understand this, for those that show up on the live, sometimes for a lot of these folks, it's not easy because some people are behind the scene type people, right? And so although they do wonderful, they do great in their business, they show up, they're, very professional and all of that. Some of them are not, going live savvy, right? Because this didn't just happen overnight for me. Hey, Tanya, how are you? Thank you, baby. Hey, thank you guys for joining. And so we're going to go ahead on because we want to be respectful of the timing, not only for myself, for the guests, and for our special guest, Miss Jasmine Young. So I'm going to go into commercial, you guys, for just a minute, for just a second. And then right after commercial, we're going to bring our special guest. So you guys, make sure you give her a round of applause. Show her love. We want comments. We want questions. We want support because guess what? This young lady is new in business. So you guys have met Jasmine early on when she first started. That was just a couple of months ago, but she's been blowing it out the water. So I was like, let's bring her on and get the dibs on, you know what I'm saying? Let's get some new dibs on how she doing it. So give us 30 seconds. I'm going to go behind the scenes and get Jasmine. I'm going to give you all a commercial and we'll be right back, okay? So stay. Okay. So Jasmine, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great, my love. Thank you for joining us on Runway for Entrepreneurs.
Thank you for having me, and hello to everyone that's out there online.
Hey, can you guys hear us clearly? Please let us know before I start running my trap, okay? Because y'all know I get to going. Hey, beautiful. Hi, Gabriella. It's so different to see the co-host of Tea Time on the other side. So can you guys hear us? Let us know. Hello, video froze. Okay. Oh, you can hear us. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So once again, for those of you that are new to Runway for Entrepreneurs, this is a platform that that came about, and I was like, hey, we need to showcase these new businesses, for business owners that have, products, services, whatever. And even if you don't have a business, if you just want to come on and talk about your ideas, right, and or anything pertaining to business, come and hang out with the entrepreneurs. Okay. Oh, Denise, your video is freezing. Gabby, is the video freezing on your end? Please let us know. And so yeah, so that's where Runway for Entrepreneurs come from. Happy Women's History Month. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gabby. And so we're gonna get started. What I'm gonna do is ask Jasmine to introduce herself. Jasmine is the owner of Touch Souls One Meal at a Time. Okay, so I'm excited about that. I just love Touch Souls One Meal at a Time because what that sounds like to me is that almost like Jasmine is out there feeding, sometimes, and not like feeding the hungry. And when I say that, it's like supporting like the shelters, the homeless, the less fortunate people, So Jasmine, give us some dibs on that. You can go ahead on and introduce yourself and give us a little bit on the name, the title of your business.
Hi, so as Miss Tina mentioned, my name is Jasmine Young. I'm the owner of Touching Souls One Meal at a Time. So what that means is, first of all, my business is in Caribbean catering, but also in making specialty spice blends. But even with that title in itself, more so the mission of my organization is not just for it to be, an income for myself or benefiting myself, but I have a good neighbor program where a percentage of the revenue generated is utilized to create non-perishable meal packages. And I work with
Mm-hmm.
various local nonprofits in the area. For example, the Children's Aid Society in Waldorf, Maryland, the Southern Maryland Food Bank, and also in Prince Frederick, Maryland, I work with the homeless shelter out there. And also, hopefully, coming up, working with a nonprofit in Brandywine, Maryland. So that's just some background as well. So it's not just about, my products and services, but also what can I do within the community as well. So that's just a little snippet of who I am in my business.
Wow. So you've extended your business, right? Expanded your business because when you first came on, I don't think you already connected to the nonprofit? You were
So
connected to one, right?
yes, I was connected to one nonprofit, but throughout my journey, I was just looking to see who else I could partner with when it came to those meal packages. I found myself working with the Children's Aid Society, but also working with the shelter during Christmas time in Prince Frederick, working with them. And it was
Mm-hmm.
actually very rewarding. That was by chance that happened to work with them. So that was nothing but God opening up a door to work with them as well, because it was in a time where they really needed that.
Yes.
Also, just recently, I had a individual who works at a nonprofit. She's a coordinator for their outreach efforts. Reach out to me and wanting to partner, and we're trying to see
Wow.
what that would look like. Possibly could be services rendered, working with them, just rendering services because they also have a senior citizens home. So
Oh,
just different
okay.
ways. So just different ways of giving back, but not only, just focusing on generating revenue and increasing my business alone, but also having a stance and investing in the community as well.
I love that. Jess, how did you come up with the business name?
So it actually started in my executive master's program at the University of Maryland College Park in public management. And I was working on an independent study in social entrepreneurship with my teacher at the time. And she asked me what were my passions, and I told her, well, I like, giving as far as, helping those in need, when it comes to how I participate in church. But also, I told her I just like to cook Caribbean food, because that's my culture and background. My mom's side of the family is from Trinidad. So a lot of that stuff is just, what I'm used to. And that's just my passion of cooking Caribbean food. So that was just two passions we meshed. And when thinking about it, I was like, well, I want to give back. And when you're giving back, you're kind of reaching back or you're touching someone throughout that
Mm-hmm.
process.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to food, you're dealing with the soul. And a lot of people talk about the soul and how food can be healing, in general. So that's where that came from, touching souls one meal at a time. Because it wasn't just about my umbrella, as I could come up with a name for my business saying, okay, Jasmine's Caribbean food or Jasmine Eats, but I wanted it to be more impactful. So when people actually recognized the name of my business, they knew it was a mission, that I was trying to carry out, not only for myself, but for others as well.
Exactly. Gabby says, Jazz, I love what you're doing for the community, and your food is very tasty. Yum. And so Gabby is mentioning this because we have ordered from Jazz. Jazz caters, right? And so I mean she over showed out, with our catering the food. I'm not just saying that just because. I mean, she put a big smile on my entire family's face. And so that was a blessing to us. And like Jasmine was saying, how, when it comes to food, you want it, it's coming from a good place. And, she mentioned healing. And so I'm all about the healing aspect too, right? And so whenever I cook, whenever I'm doing my healing soup, because we here in the season of colds and allergies and stuff like that. My favorite as you can see behind Jasmine, is her spices. And so my favorite spice is the chai spice, right? And so, Jazz, I'm going to get you to introduce your spices to us and, just give us a background and or a little bit of basically what each spice represents and how you use your spices.
Okay. So as you can see in the background, I'm not sure how clear you can see that, but also on my
Very
website,
clear.
I do have a spice shop. So as I go through the various spices that I talk about, you can go to my website, and see that. It's www.ts1meal. Instead of the at symbol, you're going to use AT as at, and um, at a time. So with that being said, I have six flavors of spices. For
Mm-hmm.
me, my spices are made with international spices. So I go out to international markets and look for different spices to add. But also, it's something that I was raised on, so it's something that's first nature for me. Um,
Right,
so for me, it's not, something that I'm not accustomed to doing. It's something that we do on an everyday basis with our food, just
right.
on a norm for me and my family. But my first spice is everything Cajun, and that in itself is a Cajun spice with a little kick to it. Not too much, but that you can utilize for your everyday seafood boils, gumbo, etouffee. I've heard this from other individuals where they were shocked and they were like, "Wow, I'm going to use this with my gumbo that I'm known for." So
Right.
I've had a lot of clientele use that for their gumbo. But
Mm-hmm.
anything you can think of as far as salmon, you can utilize it on that. Um, Wings. Another spice I have is, as Miss Tina mentioned, chai time. Chai
Mm,
time is it has a unique flavor,
it
and
does. Yeah.
it's really, really good. You can utilize, you wouldn't think you could use it on everything, but you literally can use it for baking. I do have recipes online as well when you see the spices that are there
Oh,
to
okay.
help, when you're looking, okay, what spice am I interested in? How would I use it? I do have recipes, on those pages with each spice to where you can get an idea of how you can utilize the spice. But
Right.
one recent recipe that's online is French toast. So it's called Chai Time French Toast. It's actually really, really good. I've had a couple of customers utilize it, in that recipe as well. But of course, for traditional use, when you think of chai, you think of chai tea. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when you're making traditional chai tea, you have to go and get a lot of spices and boil it. to make sure you have what the exact ingredients. But with this, you would just need a black tea bag, and you would just utilize your chai thyme spice, and mix it and sweeten it as appropriate for your taste.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good. Some people choose not to put sweetener in it, but you can utilize that as well with coconut milk, sweet cream, regular traditional milk. Um, so that is Miss Tina's favorite, and some others that I've worked with.
It
Um,
is.
I also have tandoori masala. That in itself is a tandoori blend that has no salt, no sugars, no anything in it. It's just all spice. And I also use that as well when it comes to tandoori chicken. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really good. I recently tried a recipe with doing it in the air fryer to get a more healthier approach, but also with that crispy taste. So that'll be
Mm-hmm.
also something new coming to the website with a new recipe for that.
Awesome.
Also, I do have Jazzy's Jerk. I'm known for jerk wings. A lot of people know me and my jerk wings that I make. So I came up with, a blend that individuals could utilize um, to make their own personal jerk wings, jerk shrimp, anything that you would like to add your jerk spices to. I also have a recipe on there for jerk shrimp and mussels.
Yummy, girl. Come on. Stop playing with me. So, you guys understand, not only have she created her own spices, but she's really making it easy for us to, so she has the recipe right there. You know how we be thinking, what can I use this spice on? Or how can I use it? She has the recipes right there laid out for us. How great is that? Okay. Come on
and
now.
And just to add, I do have I have an actual curry blend that I make. So that I use in all of my curry dishes. And sometimes, people will just go buy the curry really quick, but there is a difference in flavor. I've had a couple customers already saying, "Oh my gosh." My husband was like, "Where did you get that blend? Who did you get these spices from?" And jokingly, she
Hmm.
was like, "I hope my husband doesn't leave me for you with your food." I was like, "No." I was like, "We're gonna get you there," because he loves spices, and I was like, "Well, you know where to come and get them. You have a resource." But definitely the reviews, because that's one of the newer spice blends, is the curry.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited about that one as well. And then I also have a specialty limited edition spice. I have one that's called Dark Roast Rub, and that in itself is
Mm.
a specialty because I use Ceylon coffee, which is from Sri Lanka, and I blend that into the spice that I use, and that in itself is a delicious rub. You can actually, like, I
Ooh.
have a steak recipe on there utilizing the rub with an image, and it's not what you would think when you think of coffee blends, but it's
Yeah.
very unique in itself. And I, I just can't. That's something you have to try if you're
You have
into
to try it.
trying unique flavors. That in itself is something that would shock you. But I picked the Ceylon coffee because it's a traditional coffee. It's a staple within India on the Sri Lanka side. So I thought that would be something different. When you think coffee, you hear people talk about, oh, Colombia, these
Right.
different roasts, but you've never heard the word Ceylon coffee. You're like, what is that? So
Come
that in
on, Unique.
itself,
Come on, baby.
so
Come
that
on,
in
baby.
itself, I
So you
wanted to
see, you
offer them.
right. So you guys see, she's thinking outside the box, right? Like she said, like you go into 7-Eleven, you see Colombian and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? So she's really thinking outside the box and she's utilizing her culture, her background, so all of that is meshed in there together, right? And so, yeah, Jazz, would that be a good one for me to use like I used to chai? Like,
Actually, it is. So it does have a little bit of brown sugar in there, and it also has a little bit of sea salt in it. So if you see any of my spices with salt, I use sea salt in my spices. If you have any salt added in it, but that in itself, it's a very robust flavor.
yeah.
Um, with some rosemary on the website that I have the actual recipe for the steak. If you add rosemary, like fresh rosemary to the steak, and fresh
Hmm.
garlic when you're marinating your steak, it
Yes.
is it's unbelievable. Um,
Wow. Come
and
on. I'm
also you can utilize
sorry.
it. You can use
Look,
it in your ribs as well. Burgers, chicken. It's all in how the person who's utilizing the spice can be creative, not just with the recipes I give, but also you as you know, when you're in your kitchen. I know a lot of people they like to get in there and experiment, and that in itself is just something you could utilize without having to go to the store and buy 20 different spices and make it yourself. You already have it
exactly.
ready to go.
You've already done the work. Jess, tell me something because I hear you talking about the meats.
Hmm.
Now, what about the vegetables? Now, can these, do they complement the vegetables? Asparagus and, stuff like that, kale, spinach.
Yes. So, for me, I do a lot of sauteing with vegetables. I like to put my
Mm-hmm.
jazzy jerk on my sauteed veggies. The curry powder, we do a lot of curries when it comes to veggies,
Mm-hmm.
culturally. So we take potatoes and we have chickpeas, garlic, and we add. Sometimes you can add carrots to that, but we call that aloo, um, in
Oh, I
my
like
culture.
that. I love.
Yeah.
I love.
So, and then also, you wouldn't think so, but you could take some cabbage, take some green peppers, onions, garlic, carrots,
Mm.
some julienne carrots, and then you would saute that up and add. Essentially, you could add almost all of these spices to that type of dish,
Mm-hmm.
based on your palate, and it would
Mm-hmm.
go really well. I try to make the spices to where it can go in a lot of dishes. It's just getting
Yes.
creative with the dishes, and not
Yes.
limiting. Also,
Uh-huh.
it's something we call saag, SAAG. It's a Indian spinach. And with that,
Mm-hmm.
I use the tandoori masala to season it up and let the spinach just cook. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ways you can utilize the spices. It's getting creative, and thinking outside the box, and then just becoming your own personal chef in the house with your playing around with your spices.
Right. So you all understand, see, Jazz, okay, she is a sister girl, but at the same time, her mom is, where's your mom from?
She's from Trinidad, from Sandy Grande.
Yeah, so she has another background, and so she's educating us. Okay, so I learned there's another spinach. And we know it's probably a million and one different types of spinaches. And so what is the spinach you mentioned?
It's SAG, so SAAG. So
SAAG sog. Okay,
so
y'all.
so typically you hear paneer kind of SAG, but that has tofu in it. The one that we do is just strictly spinach because everyone doesn't eat tofu. Um,
Tofu. Right,
yeah. And then sometimes
right.
that has a more creamier base. I just do mine with the spinach, the onions, and garlic, and the tandoori
Right.
masala seasoning, and then salt based on taste, and cook it up that
Mm-hmm.
way.
hmm And so that's another way of thinking out the box, you guys, because for us Americans, we focus have the tendency to focus basically on our tradition, which is the chicken, your
Mhm.
macaroni and cheese, and your greens, right? And so also with not only Jasmine doing the spices, and within her catering, you can and I'm pretty sure some of these meals, Jazz just mentioned that they're on our website, right? So it gives you an opportunity to taste other types of foods, right? So you could be creative in your eating. It's always great to try other foods. I know sometimes we like, ooh, what is that? But trust me, once you step outside your box and try something new, you like, oh my goodness, you'll be calling Jazz on a regular. Girl, can you package that up for me? And so, Jazz, real quick, Gabby said, Jazz, your hair looks so pretty and shiny.
I said thank you. Thanks, Gabby.
Gabby said, you go, girl. Yummy. Come through. Okay, who is this? Is this Gabby Jazz Jerk? I love that. Yes. And we have someone that didn't register, but it says, I got to try that jerk one. Okay. Make sure Jazz, put your website down there really quick, your contact information as well.
Let me
Um,
see.
Tanya. Oh, okay. I thought we had Tanya said, sounds delicious. Gabby Think outside the box. Yes, love it. And that's what it's about, thinking outside the box. And so, Jazz, now that you're in business and you're doing working for us with your nonprofit, and so just tell us, I want to know, did you expect to be doing what you're doing now?
Not at all. I'll be honest.
Okay, come through.
Not
Because
at all.
a lot of people are afraid to step out there, and they think they have to have it all together. Did you have it all together, Jazz?
Definitely not. I'm sorry. I was typing in the website.
That's okay.
Hopefully you guys
So
got that. Um,
yes. So
but
you guys
no.
hear that? For those of you that are afraid, is that my baby Emmanuel? Oh, sorry, you guys. That's Jazz brother, Manny. So, for those of you that are out there thinking I have to have it, basically what it is, like I always say in tea time, we looking for perfection. And the moment you start looking for perfection, that's when you're everything that it is that God has in space for you. Everything is delayed because we're operating in perfection. Trust me, I know. God had been pushing me, smacking me upside my head, on my back, shoulders, and everything. But I kept saying, God, I hear you. But I was still trying to do it my way, perfection. Okay. God said, we're going to take you just as you are. We don't need it to be perfection, perfect, because as you move along, things will come together. Right, Jazz? And so
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. Because you didn't just start out with the jars looking so pretty, with your labels so gorgeous, and your stamp. You didn't just start out like that. You didn't wake up and snap your fingers and say, "This is how Jasmine want all of this to look." Yeah, you had a vision, but you didn't know it was going to come out like this.
I definitely did not. Again, this started off as just a trial as far as a class independent study project. This was actually a year in the making in my program with my teacher, and then my classmates actually pushing me when I had to do presentations in front of them, talking about the business, with my business plan, and just in general, telling them the ideas I had, and then just getting their feedback. It was something where you hear, okay, so why do you really, are you sure you want to do that? You have a really great job. And for me, don't get this wrong, I love my career that I have. I feel like God called me to that as well.
Of
Because in that,
course.
I also give back in that way. But this was more so for me to become creative, outside of the business realm, because I have a business background in management. So for
Yes.
me to now get into this level of business and learn different business laws and different areas of business within the food industry, in itself, was exciting, for me. Of course, it's one of the hardest industries to actually tap into. But because, the school I went to, they have a lot of resources. The internet is your friend. Utilize the
Say
internet.
that again.
The internet is your best friend. Utilize it. YouTube, a lot of laws are online that you can look up. There are a lot of, you know, training you can take online. I know we're in COVID, so a lot of things you can utilize online. You don't have to go to an in person facility. So just whatever your passion is, just to educate yourself. I press educating, before jumping out, just because you're going to find yourself, just, pushing something that you think might not be great, but it's also good to survey the market, see what's out there. Also know your price points. It's a lot of different things, in itself, but, once you educate yourself, it'll open up your view as to what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But also, um, sometimes we get scared. We're like, do I want to do it? No. Um, and of course, every day is not going to be perfect. You're not going to have sales every day. But at the same time, you're not doing it just because. And when I got into it, I said, I'm not going to do this for, I want to be a millionaire. Of course, everybody wants to be a millionaire. But if it's your passion, it's not about the money. It's about, doing what you love, and the money's gonna come. I will be honest about that. You'll find times where you're not even thinking about your business and things are just flowing, and you're like, wow. So that in itself, just for encouragement, every day as an entrepreneur, I'm learning. Just being a rookie, I'm learning that resources and always having a good set of people around you that you
Mhm.
can actually, have as your network, your
Mhm.
team, people you
Mhm.
trust to where you can talk about ideas, but
Mhm.
also people who are in that industry who can give
Mhm.
you advice on how to navigate challenges. So that
Mhm.
way you don't have to go through certain challenges and they can tell you,
Exactly.
they can educate you as well. So some things are best to
Exactly.
learn from
Yeah.
others.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good, Jazz. That's real good. And so, I mean, we go through our pain points, but you didn't stop, did you? You
No.
still going.
Yes, because it's something I actually like doing.
Mhm.
So for me, it's not about, okay, I know I have a great product, but it's not just about the product, it's about
Mhm.
what I have on my website. When you go to the about story, there's a
Mhm.
mission.
Mhm.
So it's about reaching back also.
Mhm.
So I think that's important. And when researching for
Mhm.
myself, looking at different social enterprises,
Mhm.
for instance, a lot of people don't know, they may hear that, but Tom's is a shoe company, but they're a
Yeah.
big corporation, but they started off
Yeah.
very, very small, and they started off with, every sale they gave back. So that
Yes.
in itself is what kind of pushed me, because if someone that small scale could go to that maximum scale, but also they
Mhm.
were blessed throughout that process because they were a blessing. Um,
Exactly.
so I think that for me, that's what my entrepreneurship journey is about.
Mhm.
And it's not just about myself, but it's also to be a blessing to others. So
Yeah, being a blessing to others, exactly. Number one key, being a blessing to others. And so, you know, because basically that's what this platform is about, just inspiring and motivating other entrepreneurs or those that, they're on the fence about, starting a business, right? And a lot of times, people, it's fear. People are dealing with fear, afraid of, oh, number one, I don't have the money. Right. So, what do you say to those that feel like I don't have the money? People, because some people get this thought that they need all of this money to start.
so first thing I tell people, once you have your business plan, get your license. Because that you can have spent so much money and you'll have no return on your investments because you don't have a business license. You don't have your tax information together. So that if you're looking for a return on your investments and it's not coming also the way you want it to, the money that you put out, keep records. Keep
Mm-hmm.
very good records of what you're spending your money on. But even if you don't have the money, sometimes, things might not happen when you want it, but they'll
Mm-hmm.
essentially, if it's meant to be, it'll pan
Mm-hmm.
itself out. But if you plan accordingly and then jump out there on faith, it'll work itself out. I'm a true believer of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I do have something in the works with a nonprofit in Brandywine where
Mm-hmm.
someone had one of actually an old classmate from high school reached out to me who's a coordinator there for the outreach. And she
Wow.
was like, girl, she was like, we have a food pantry and we love your mission. How can we partner? You don't have to give us anything. If you want, you could just give services. You don't have to use your money. You could just use what you would charge for services.
Right.
And it's so that's a blessing because someone's seeing,
Yes, it
okay, the
is.
vision, and they love the vision. So you'll have people who see your vision, they'll invest in your brand based off what they see. Because sometimes it's not
Yes,
about what you say, it's what you actually visually see. And if people
exactly.
see that in your actions, they'll resonate with your business and your brand. So I will say just keep pushing, but do your research. With any, no matter what area you go in for business,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be challenges. I'm learning that I feel like entrepreneurship is 24 hours versus
Okay.
your 8 to 10 hour job. So
Hey, people think, hey, yeah, I want to do my own business. Da, 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 da. I can work when I want to. Oh, really? So, no, like you said, sometimes I have to take a nap and get back up because if you have a client, I have to think about what it is that I'm going to be dealing with the next day. Take notes, my own mental notes for the next day. You know what I'm saying? If not, I don't want to go to bed with that stuff. And so you brain dumping at night, even on your next, on what it is that you have planned out, for the next 3 months, 6 months, or what have you. And so, yeah, people, it's not easy. Owning your own business is not easy. It's enjoyable. It's all of that, but it is not easy building your own business. Like Jasmine said, you working. Oh, you working. Seriously, and meeting with clients and talking with clients and all of that. And now that we can't see face to face, a lot of things are being done virtually. How about trying to work a full-time job and you know do your job on the side doing entrepreneurship? So that's a double whammy. You know what I'm saying? And so, Jazz, we are at that hour, 8:30. Hey, this has been so wonderful. I took and put your website down because I think it had went into the private chat for us,
Okay.
and so I put it out there. If you, Emmanuel, if you could put Jazz's website out there as well, that would be great. And Gabby, you're right. Gabby says business requires a lot of hard work and sacrifice. Hey, I'm trying to tell you that is so true. Exactly. Yeah. And especially if you're juggling, like I said, job, kids, this family, husband, just all of that. It's a lot. You don't even have to have all of just being single. It's a lot. And so, who is this? Hey, Facebook user. I think they're saying, hi, sweetie. Hello. We don't know exactly who that is. Thank you all so much for joining, each and every one of you all. And hello to the folks that are going to be looking at this as a replay. Hey, do me a favor, you guys. Be sure, Jazz, please say your website again, and maybe Gabby or whoever is out there can put your website out there.
Okay. So my website is www.ts1, as in the number one, meal at a time.com. Also, if you are on Instagram, my handle is touching souls one meal. And also, I am on Facebook. I'm not a Facebook avid user as I am on Instagram, but you can also find me as TS one meal at a time as well. And also, Miss Tina can possibly share my Facebook when she uploads this.
Yes,
And I'll also go on there and add that information. So I also, you'll see the Spice Shop. Most of the times I do the slash and I put Spice Shop after the website's address, and it'll take you directly to the Spice Shop where all the spices are.
that's what's up. We're gonna love that. Hey, Dada baby, how you doing? And okay, thank you so much. Shantae be coming through. Thank you, baby. So here's Jasmine's website right here. You all www.ts1meal at a time.com. Okay. So do me a favor, be sure to go out and support Miss Jasmine Young on that. And also Jazz, and that way she will capture maybe your information, and you all can support in the nonprofit as well. However, whatever, we all are appreciative of all support, right? Because that's what we do. And that's what, if we haven't been doing it, that's what we're starting to do, is support our own folks in businesses, right? In our small businesses. We take our business, we take our money every place else except in our community. How about that? And so we trying to do something new in 2021. But guess what? Don't get it twisted. Congratulations. I know somebody out there saying, I don't know who she thinks she's talking to because I supported that. Okay, so then I'm not talking about you. Don't be cute. Don't be cute. But for those who do not, I'm just saying, let's try something new, right? Okay, thank you so much, Jess. You look beautiful tonight. And we'll talk behind the scenes. I need the newest and the greatest that you have. That's right, Gabby. It's all about supporting, right? That's what we do. And the thing about it is, for those that are not in business right now, guess what? The more you give, the more you shall receive, right? And so when you support somebody, guess what? They will turn around and support you when your time comes. I love exactly how that works, right? It's a big circle. It's a big circle. So stay connected, you all. And once again, thank everyone. Cynthia said consistency. Come on, Cynthia, you said the word of the night, consistency. I need to pat that right there on the forehead. Consistency is everything, right? Thank you, Cynthia. You on point with that tonight, girl. How you doing, baby? Do you make curry chicken?
Yes.
Oh, girl, do she make curry chicken? Hold on, Jazz. Before we get off, I'm sorry, didn't mean to go over. So, what was the chicken that you brought to us? Was that jerk?
So that was jerk chicken, jerk wings, and the
Yeah,
Caribbean fried rice and salad that I brought you. But
right,
we do have a menu. I do have one on my site as well where you can see different servings as far as the menu items, but also they're family style servings. So they come in half trays and the large full trays.
right.
Um, so
So, Cynthia, yeah, you have, well, um, at one point before COVID hit, yearly I would go, I was invited to Jasmine's house on Christmas holidays. And so I had the privilege of tasting, her curry and, all of that. And so you have to try it out, Cynthia. It's the bomb, okay? It's the bomb. I'm trying to tell you. And so Cynthia, she got me. I know that's right. And the her website is here, and I'm not sure if Jasmine, Jazz, do you take phone calls?
I do. So all that, so I have my number on the website as well, and I have the
Okay,
email where you can
okay,
contact also. So that way
right.
I can get that information from you. And
Okay,
then that
baby.
way, what I typically do is for catering, if someone has a request, I'll
Mm-hmm.
call them once I receive it, and we'll set
Mm-hmm.
up a schedule to do a video call. So that
Okay.
way we could actually talk about, specifics when it comes to what you're looking for, or even allergies, just so I'm aware of certain things.
Okay, baby. Yes, she's so professional. Um, and Cynthia said, "Do you know I love good food?" We know, said I love to eat, and it's always better when someone else make it for me. Hey, Cynthia, that's what I'm talking about. So I already told Jazz, look, we need a professional chef. We need the catering business to keep it coming because, you know, me and Mr. Martin got older, girl, ain't a sister girl, you know. I ain't trying to stand up over no stove, and I don't want no fast food. I don't want no bunch of fast food all the time. We trying to keep Mr. Mark healthy. And so that's the way to go, baby. So, Jazz, we love you. We appreciate you coming on. And so, look out, Cynthia and whomever else on here will be reaching out to support you most definitely. And we look forward to you coming back anytime you want to come back and join us on the runway for entrepreneurs.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Miss Tina, for allowing me on this platform to join everyone. I do really appreciate it. So I don't want to leave without saying thank you again. And I greatly appreciate
Yeah.
it. So it's an honor because you're like a mother to me as well.
Ooh, girl,
So I
don't get me
do.
emotional on here.
So I do want to say thank you because it's hard to find people who are very genuine and supportive
Yeah.
this day and age. So when you do have good people around you,
Yeah.
it's always good to give them their flowers while they're right in front of you and say
I
thank
know
you.
that's right, baby.
So I do want to give my appreciation
I
and
know
with
that's
everyone
right.
present. Um, Also, Miss Tina has great services. Don't just, look at me. I know I'm platform, but she's a great counselor, a great motivator because she also pushed me when I first called her with my
Oh,
class, project, and everyone was pushing me. And
she
she said, "Hey,
did.
that's God." So I say, you know what? Got confirmation from others, but she's a great person as
Yeah.
well. So also look out for her and her services because she won't steer
Oh,
you wrong. So again, I thank
girl.
everyone. I look forward to the feedback
Yeah.
that I received from the community that I engaged in
Yeah.
with tonight.
Yeah.
Also, again, she provided a website, so I'll be, look out for your emails, look out for your orders, and then just questions in general, if you have any. But also, again, Instagram, my tag is also on my website where you can see the icon because I tend to put a lot of content more so on IG
Mm-hmm.
with the following. So if you guys would like, you can look at Instagram as well on my
Mm-hmm.
site.
Hmm. And the thing I like too is that, for the most part, everyone that's in this circle are very genuine. People are, very giving, very supportive. And, I just want to say thank you for those that are in my tribe, those that are in Fearlessly Me. Thank you so much because y'all, I mean, take it to a whole nother level. Every person that I have showed or showcased, you guys show up and show out on supporting that individual. And so thank you so much. I truly appreciate you guys for everything that you do. You don't have to do it, but you guys really, really show up and show out and show lots of love, right? And so thank you so much. And so we're going to wrap this right on up. And once again, Jazz, thank you so much. And you guys, mwah, thank you for coming out. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Thank you for all the sweet comments and everything. Once again, check Jazz out on her website. Okay. See you all later.
Have a good
Bye
night.
bye. Bye bye.